theatrical, dialogue, and monologue.
Field.
Um, and then we'll do impromptu. So for impromptu, I'm going to give you all maybe about 5 to 10 minutes to write your own speeches based off a particular subject. I got no subject ready, so each individual will have their own subject matter to write. Okay, and then we have sensory aid. So we won't get to that today. There appears to be a little bit of confusion about it. So here is our document for sensory aid. And I'll get this uploaded to Blackboard. Right? So what am I looking for? Something that you can use non-verbally, right? That can help you with your speech. It could be something visual, auditory, something that makes sound to sort of help express the message that you're trying to convey to your audience. You can use any kind of visuals you want. Something PowerPoint, something YouTube, billboard, however you want to go about that. Anything that will engage your senses. Maybe something we can touch. Right? I wouldn't say something we could taste. I don't know, unless you're going to be talking about food or something, and you bring this on back. Right? That could be the taste as well too, right? Something that can aid our senses with whatever sort of idea or concept we're trying to convey. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sir. So we just basically to have a speech about talking.
Yeah, you need something to help you, right? Something that is nonverbal, so that's going to assist, help us get to the point of trying to make a speech.
So like,
It could be football. Man,
so,
it's about football.
so if I just pull up a YouTube video and just let it play, that's cool.
No, you're speaking, you're giving a speech, but the YouTube video will be an assistant. It could be a visual aid that's helping tell the story. Like, but we're still speaking. Sure, yeah.
So we
You
go
can
off
get
that
that
for
wherever you want.
So we go off that for
Yeah, I would say in consideration, like, we got a bunch of footballers, baseball players, like,
one of them fraud.
try not to make it all sports related.
Oh my
Right? You try not to make it, I'm pretty sure you got other stuff going on in your life outside of sports. Because I don't want it to be all the same team.
That's a fraud.
You play baseball for real.
That's a fraud. Baseball player, bro.
Alright, so here are some examples, right? We say, hey, you can use some props, some models, some pictures, some graphs, some charts, some posters, some tables, something video, something audio, something multimedia.
So we're a bunch of mimes now. Cool.
Yeah, something to convey the message, right? But it has to be in sync with whatever you're trying to tell us. Remember, we're trying to improve. Each week we're going to speech to improve. So let's not try to move off as much with the speech, but actually try to organize it in a very systematic way so that we're improving each week, right? So organize it. Make it relatable. Please take your time. Don't rush it. Don't come up here all anxious to get it over. No, take your time. Organize your ideas, prepare yourself. You need a couple minutes, take a deep breath. The point is, this is your stage. This is your stage to enhance performance each week. So, for those of you coming up doing this, don't listen. Yes. Part of your speech. No, don't make this your entire speech here. For those of you that like to look down, don't look down this much. Right? Slowly try to switch it up. The point is to resist your subconscious urges to do anything self-soothing. So when you're doing this, psychologically we say this is self-soothing. You're using this as an anchor to calm yourself. We got a sympathetic system. Sympathetic goes up, heart rate, blood pressure. Parasympathetic brings you down. Right? So try to think of calm yourself without doing this. Without doing this. Right? These are all self-soothing. You're giving yourself a hug. Right? Try to go against that. Try to think like, okay, let me try something different. experiment. Right? Keep it experimenting until you maybe find like a sweet spot that works well. Hey, tone of voice. Just read the speech. That's just words on the page or on your phone. Don't read it. Give us a switch to tone now. Right? If there's an exclamation mark at the end of it, speak an exclamation. Right? Be monitored. Give us a little bit of emotion. The words should reflect actual emotions. That's why I say practice it. Practice something that, God, you know, that sounds kind of a dry delivery. Let me do it again. Right? Even we had Shakespeare last week. Great job.
I know I
Yeah,
did.
you change the inflection in your voice and the tone. You try to make it Shakespearean, which is good. Right? You try to be authentic to the writing itself. Good. Point is, get up here and be comfortable. Still two people still kind of struggling to find a way, but we're going to get there. This is your opportunity. Okay, are we clear on sensory aid? I'll upload this to Blackboard right after class. Before I leave.
Make sure you make a note. Make a note. You know,
Yeah.
look.
I'll do it before we leave. Okay, so we have impromptu and we have theatrical monologue and dialogue. Hang on, I had a speech first before we start.
Who wrote this? You or one of your students from Harvard? You say you teach at a different school? You teach at Harvard?
Yeah, I teach, in the summertime I teach at Harvard and Pepperdine.
Who paid the loan? Harvard.
I would do this for free, honestly. I love teaching. But you know, I teach primarily in Dominican. Yeah, that's my primary university. But I came over here 2-3 years ago. No, they're both different. Honestly, I like them. They both have different things. No, seriously. Both have different things. And I think this one may have a better demographic. Dominican is primarily Latino.
You chose this.
Heavily, maybe 70%, 70-some%. Here we get a little bit more diverse range of people. But I love Dominican too. That's, you know, I consider home. You Okay, this is my meaning of life speech.
Okay.
All right? Okay. It's all going to be close up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today not to answer a question, but to dance around one. It is a question that has stirred the minds and hearts of people for ages. What is the meaning of life? Yet moment we try to pin down an answer, something slips away, doesn't it? Life itself seems to resist being reduced to a mere statement. It's as though life is saying, don't try to box me in. Don't try to label me. Just experience it. And that is where the crux of our misunderstanding lies. We treat life as a problem to be solved, an equation to be balanced. We are conditioned to believe that the meaning of life is something out there, something to be found, somewhere in the distant future, after we've accumulated enough experiences, achievements, or insights. But what if life isn't something to be figured out, but rather something to be lived? Imagine for a moment that life is like music. What is the point of a piece of music? Is it to get to the end? Do you listen to a symphony, hopefully for it to finish as quickly as possible? Of course not. The point of music is the music itself, the way each note flows into the next,
the tension and release, the melody and harmony, the ebb and flow. It is meant to be experienced in its entirety, moment by moment. So too with life. Right? The meaning of life is not at the end of some road, waiting for us like a trophy to be claimed. It's in the walking itself, in the experience of living. Life is not a destination. It's a process, an unfolding, much like a song that's meant to be danced to, not analyzed. And yet we often get trapped in this endless striving, always seeking, always reaching for something just beyond our grasp. Success, happiness, enlightenment, purpose. But as soon as we catch a glimpse of what we think we're looking for, we find ourselves already yearning for the next thing. It's like running on a treadmill. Movement could never arrive. So we live in a culture obsessed with progress, with goals, with achievement. But life in its deepest essence isn't about reaching a particular state or crossing the finish line. The more we strive to capture the meaning of life, the more elusive it becomes. Perhaps instead of searching for the meaning of life, we should recognize that we are life. We are not separate from the unfolding of the universe. We are the unfolding. Much like a wave rising from the ocean, taking its shape, cresting and falling back, we too are expressions of the same life force that animates everything. The wave doesn't need to understand why it rises or falls. It simply does. And in its rise and fall, it is perfect, complete. Now, this doesn't mean that we should abandon all goals, dreams, or ambitions. Rather, it suggests that we should stop waiting for the future to deliver us from some grand revelation about the meaning of it all. The meaning isn't hiding behind some door in the future. It's right here, in this moment. It's in the mundane and the profound, in laughter and in tears, in moments of clarity and confusion alike. Consider how we watch children play. They don't play to achieve anything. They play for the joy of it. They're fully absorbed in the moment, not worrying about what comes next, not questioning the purpose of their play. And in that, they are far wiser than most of us. If there's a lesson in all of this, it's that life is much more like play than work. We are not here to master life, to conquer it, or to demand answers from it. We are here to experience it, to be present in it, and most importantly, to enjoy it. So life is like a dance, a flow, a spontaneous unfolding. And just as in a dance, we don't ask, where is this going? We simply move. We let the music guide us. We become one with the rhythm, not because we're aiming for some final step, but because the joy is in the dancing itself. So, I invite you to reconsider the question, rather than asking what is the meaning of life, a question that demands an intellectual answer. Ask instead, am I truly living? Am I fully here, present, and awake to the moment? Perhaps the meaning of life isn't something to be solved like a riddle, but something to be lived like a poem, something to be felt, experienced, and embraced in its totality, the good, the bad, and the mystery, and the wonder. And maybe, just maybe, the meaning of life is simply to be alive, to be conscious, to be present for each note of the music as it plays. Thank you.
You might have took those from I use that for my next I can ask a question. I'm speaking out for today. Everybody up the class. You wrote that? Speak out for today. Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, let's get started.
These are Polish. You should
Yeah.
really write a book on that. I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm working on it. All right, who's going first?
We got more right here.
I just want everybody to know, Ben's got a half gallon of milk and he's drinking it straight out of it.
No, it's, bro, no. Nah, bro. That's crazy, bro.
It's a group.
Oh, hey,
Did that just happen today? Vegan intro.
Probably sprayed it.
Nah, I sprayed my MCL on the
So same thing, really.
In shorter
Half a
terms,
second, up to 1
hey,
minute.
in shorter terms, you got lucky.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Nah, I thought you sprayed it.
He can't.
Bro, you trying to make this poor man walk? Bro, look at him.
Bro, I can walk on it, it's just, I can't.
Bro, look at him, bro. He walk like my grandpa. He got 9 toes.
That's so wild. That's so wild.
Why you had to get one of them amputated?
Nah,
Why Deion Sanders only got 7? Missing one on each. He almost lost his whole damn leg.
That's why I'm ready to play.
He still could.
what do you entitle this?
Me,
Give it a name.
Look at the camera on
me getting hurt at practice.
It's called hurt.
It's called her.
It's called hurt.
All right.
Scene, we're at the football field, I'm on injury card. I just slightly twisted or sprained my meniscus MCL. And the coach walks up to me.
Hey, bro, what happened?
And I was trying to jump cut into one gap, jump cut into another. And as I was doing it, I landed on Garrison's foot. And I just felt my knee go one way and my body go the other. I thought it was my ACL. They told me I just had a sprain in my meniscus and my MCL, so they basically said there's nothing for me for treatment. So I basically got lucky. Yeah, so basically I'm just sitting out for a week and a half. Man, you don't even know. And see,
What's the message in this?
Be careful at practice or you're gonna end up like me.
Don't try to be something you're not.
There you go.
Hey,
Buddy, how you gonna worry about it?
not no more. To a linebacker, stick it to it.
That hurts.
That's part of the theatrics, right?
Nah,
Is
see,
that already free-written?
that's a prescription.
Boys gonna be smacking shit in fact, I got smacked down.
All right, who's next? Connor? So surprised no one picked to do reenactments of Diddy going to a Diddy.
As soon as they walk in, it's like, I get that and shit.
I was there.
How early are you gonna find a wish
Okay, I was supposed to look right at
Yeah, no.
Let me interested.
First in my back. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You walk in, you finna get like 6 moves.
Martin looks like a meeting.
Nah, I did like 2 of them ran away. Two of them ran away, and then he said, what up?
Yes, I got, play ball, or, you know, ball.
William.
Spears tracks, and now it is time for Martin Luther versus William Shakespeare. Be prepared. Martin Luther's the white guy that made
I'm
the
saying,
things.
which one?
I'm Martin Luther. That's Shakespeare. Look at him. Same guy.
How's it going, Mark?
I'm having a good day, my fellow man. How art thou doing today?
Now, Mark, good.
So, hit me with your best shot.
Alright, well, listen here, you pond-fitty candle waster. You have nothing on me.
Status. That's one way to start. If you're gonna start a beef like that, come on.
Alright, what you got,
Yeah. It's a great question. Because you are the most insane heretic, and you're an engrafter of heretical perversity.
How dare thy, you fawn Harvey Bilbo?
How can you do this? Bro, you're supposed to be like cool and stuff, man. Alright, well, you poor devil. You poor sinful man. Because I know men with more grace than you that were born in the slums of medieval Germany.
Alright, let's talk about my plays versus your theses. Who knows about Shakespeare plays? Everyone. Who knows about the 95 theses?
Okay, but like, that's like the whole point, right? You know, there's a whole religion based on that. You know who listens to yours? Old white guys that live in a theater. Bunch of theater kids. You know what the rep with theater kids nowadays? What about Lutherans? They're nice people.
You, bobbing bladder biddy. I don't appreciate that at all.
Your mother was a sow and your father was a cuckolding man.
How dare you bring my mother into this? You bobbing fish
Everyone
bladder.
here.
Ooh, deal. Hey.
I said,
Boom. Oh, got the mic.
I don't want to drop these guys. What can I respond to that? What commandment have you not broken in your plays? God's own word and you can't even follow it? Not that I can do any better, but you're not even trying. Romeo and Juliet? That's suicide. You're right about people killing themselves. How's that helping anyone?
they're in love.
Oh, so you're saying love just justifies anything. So in our modern climate, loving, people that are of a younger age, that's just fine, right?
Listen to you, make our pigeon egg apple, John.
Hell yeah. That's good.
Romeo and Juliet deals with real feelings, and sometimes things happen.
You wolf in Christendom. You think yourself so high and mighty, and you know better than anybody else.
That's right, you mute scout bully. I do know better than everyone else.
How can that be so? Name one thing that you've done that actually helped people and just didn't provide a little bit of entertainment. Anything? You're just gonna insult me again?
My themes have very.
Oh, your themes. Things that people have to look into the book for. That everyone can get a different one out of. No, you could look at Romeo and Juliet and say, oh, love is powerful. I could look at it and say, suicide's a good option.
Maybe you should commit suicide.
Bro, why are we fighting?
Big one with this one. Take him out. Now, hug it out.
Where did this concept originate from?
I remember seeing epic rap battles on YouTube one time, like 5 years ago.
Them used to be fire.
And then I keep hearing, like, in all my 3-7 classes, I keep hearing people talking about, like, all of Martin Luther's, like, absolutely insane, so that are like very close to being not friendly for us.
For theologians.
For theologians.
Did you consider writing raps?
No, because I can't rap.
You could have maybe went through the 99 pieces, drew
I don't
out
know
some
if I could have done
lines,
everything.
right? And drew out some lines and just made it rap.
Who did they go?
Alright, so we're at a Lutheran school, right? Yeah. Who's Lutheran? And Martin. No, who's Lutheran?
Who in here is Lutheran?
Two Lutherans.
I think, I could tell.
Who's familiar with Martin Luther? Raise your hand.
All I know is a thunderbolt and
Well, Martin Luther King's dad named the church after Martin Luther. He was so impressed by the work of Martin Luther that he named his church. Martin Luther is one of the most profound, transformative people in history. For about 1,500 years, the Roman Catholic Church governed and ruled pretty much all of Christian life, right? With the Pope being at the center of all of it. Essentially, the Pope kind of ruled the empires too. And the Pope had sort of all decrees for, the Roman canon, the books of the Bible that should be in there, how clergy should operate, confession, right, adoration of Saint Mary, rosaries, yada yada. Martin Luther comes along and he rejects a lot of these sort of ideas, not all of them, right? He rejects some of the books that were originally still in the Catholic Bible. And Martin Luther was essentially a monk out of Germany. And he wrote a book called The 99 Theses, kind of proposing 99 objections to the Roman Catholic Church. A lot of people begin to agree, huge cult following, and thus the Protestant Reformation. Right? So Protestant protesting of the Catholic Church, right? Protestant protest, Catholic Church. Now you have to think, out of that spawned things that transformed not only in Germany, but in England. Right? In England, essentially, came over here and governed and created the United States from the beginning. So out of Lutheranism or Protestantism came Baptism, Methodism, Presbyterian, Calvinism, Seventh-day Adventists, anything that was non-Catholic. So Martin Luther King is essentially like the catalyst that created anything that is non-Catholic in terms of the Christian faith. Very powerful individual to transform that because the Roman Catholic Church had governed pretty much all of Christian life before. So if anything, try to read a little bit on them, right? The school, the essence of the school is fundamentally based off the teachings of Martin Luther, right? I myself am Roman Catholic, right? Trinity University, right? But I agree with a lot of the things that Martin Luther spoke about in his objections with sort of the organization of the Catholic Church and some of even the practices. Right? All right, so know about Martin Luther because you go to the school. You should at least know the essence of the school that you're going to. Right? Important. Okay, who is next? And as for William Shakespeare, what's so interesting about William Shakespeare? Just him as a person. Anyone know Lutheran? No. He's most likely Anglican, which is still Protestant, whatever. But we don't know if Shakespeare existed. We don't know if Shakespeare was a real independent individual person or a collection of people, right? There's never really a true sort of acceptance or agreed upon that William Shakespeare was one individual that looks exactly like this picture does.
So that man right there is possibly just like a random photo that somebody came up with.
Could be, possibly, right?
That's insane.
That's a picture of me.
Right? A lot of mysteries in history. I'm gonna put a hair on this chick. You know about that? Put a hair on that.
Oh, that's what you gonna buy us? You gonna buy us hair or chicken?
If you want a hair on stuff,
My man said it's like good. He said we be coming here. You can't listen to nobody else on no hair or chicken until you try it. Nah, he said it's fire. He said you be going like every time you come out of here.
What's his name? Ron bought it for Bryce and Flair. They never had it before, and they tried to make it like that. They were saying
Just like almost like a Seinfeld episode when they're in the restaurant.
I got tried.
You never had a cook.
So this scene is a son meeting his dad again, finally after being in jail for 14 years.
Who's the son or dad?
Action.
Who was in jail?
Hey, Darnell, I miss you so much, son.
Hey Anthony, would have been nice for a call or something these last 14 years.
I know, son, it was hard for me. I was trying to focus on myself and be a better man for you and your mom.
Yeah, because drugs and money was more important than me and mom.
No, Darnell, it was not like that at all. I did what I had to do to provide.
Yeah, it's whatever. I see you having some milk.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man. I know you love some Captain Crunch.
Man, I like Cinnamon Crunch. That's how I know he'll never change.
Oh, well, at least you got the milk now.
Be honest, Dad. Why did you leave me and Mom and fell into drugs and went to jail?
Be honest, man. The mama bop.
Don't talk about Mom like that, bro.
That's what you did. Wait, well, tell your mama don't be punching on my cousin Lil D.
What do you mean, stepdad, little D?
Wait, first he took my family, he trying to take my family?
Yeah, he never loved his height.
Hey, grab the boat! Grab the boat! He just called your brother his uncle. And it's your daddy. That's great.
Oh, God.
That's crazy. That's wild work.
I don't know what I had to do.
What's the name? Go to the boat. Sure. I'm not gonna get some of that. What was the name? Little Diddy.
Little Diddy.
That's wild.
Little Diddy's right there.
All right, I think we got one more for theatrical, but you're still waiting on a person to come. Anyone else left over from doing the theatrical? Oh, okay.
Mike and Mike. Fraud.
The fraud is big, though.
Where you're from?
You're not wrong.
So the scene is me trying to talk to him and just have a conversation. And he just, you be doing that basically. He just can't listen right, and he just shut up.
Oh, that's good.
He told
Y'all want to switch? You might be great for this.
Oh, no, perfect.
What's up, Mike?
Yo, twin. What do you have for extracurriculars?
I had lots of milk, that's about it.
You work every day?
Yeah.
Smitty keeps forgetting pretty much stuff.
I'm surprised you're bitching, you're not that good. Right here.
What do you mean? I haven't got what you did this week. Today.
You what, your arm?
You got to take, okay, that was yesterday. Now that's
That's
wrong. You blew your arm already too.
I didn't blow my arm.
Did you have surgery on?
Nope.
You got surgery?
I had surgery.
You got surgery? You heard something?
I did.
What you heard?
Hurt my shoulder.
Yeah. You were out, not out.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm still better than you.
Naval, you still here? Not out.
Nobody.
Anyways, that's what I was saying. You know, get back on track. Change ups.
Without.
Mine 30.
No shot.
I have to do it.
I have to do this. Why you got two phones?
I'm better than you. One for the blood and the other one's for the. Anyways, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Why are you showing me the video? Hidden? This isn't a picture.
Oh, hey. What was on his phone? I don't know.
Should we still be used to it? Oh, it's wall.
That don't count. That was, I clicked on the wrong video. I clicked on the wrong video. Clicked on the wrong video. But as I was saying, Smitty actually told me after that pitch that Mike Sutter sucks and he's not getting any games this year. And
I'm not pitching against Oakland this week.
you're not.
I am.
I can show you my innings.
I can show you mine too.
You're not getting your innings.
Don't be surprised.
I promise you're not getting your innings.
You're throwing during the week and I'm not, and I'm going to pitch on Saturday.
You're getting maybe 1 or 2 innings on Saturday.
And I'm going to be.
I'm getting like 2 innings yesterday and 2 innings on Saturday.
Are you pitching against other people besides your own players?
Saturday.
You just said you're pitching on Friday.
I said Saturday.
Prove it.
Did I say Saturday?
Prove it.
You sound stupid.
No, I said prove it.
That you sound stupid.
No, I said prove it like you're pitching on Saturday. What do you mean? Exactly.
I'm done.
It's not Saturday.
I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you.
What was the main plot of his performance?
That he interrupts and then we end up getting sidetracked into a pointless argument.
And he didn't put it toward that.
You didn't touch the background. I'm gonna say. Are you pitching on Charlotte? That's I am. Oh. Told y'all I was looking for real conversation.
This happened last night.
Nah, it's not. It just happened now.
It's just that.
Yeah, we know.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have a guest here. And she just called you randomly? Are you ready for it? Okay. I got a mean slider, by the way, and a split finger and a pretty awesome
But
chain.
he didn't know words. He didn't know words. He just raw. Oh, we saw your jump shot already, man.
Yeah, I had the legs up.
I was supposed to be up.
Man, that shit just looking terrible out, man. Somebody go sleep.
Not me.
Got it?
I have a horse for it. I mean, for about 20 minutes. So, yeah, she gonna
No, who? No, Newsom? He was not.
No, it's not.
Who was he going against? Who was he going against?
Bro, he got me, and I had to come back. I ran until he turned his hips on the ground, and then I came back and he was like, "Oh, he's lost."
What is, bro, Kyle Newsom's thing cornered? I take the cold of it.
Yeah,
It's not the JT.
They had Bobby playing linebacker too. He was making shit. Oh, Bobby Clemens was the linebacker. Bobby was the linebacker. If Bobby Clemens was the linebacker, I'm going to run back. I'm going back.
One or two guys.
Going back on catch. Bro, I've always wanted to go to the
Oh my God, Blake, I haven't seen you in a week. How are you? A lot happened. You wouldn't believe it. Sit down, sit down. I got you pumpkin cheesecake. I got strawberry. But anyway, you know I met this guy. Guess what happened? I mentioned this before. You thought it was crazy. No, it's quite the opposite. Oh my God! Sorry. Oh my God! I have a ring now. With him? Don't give me that one. Oh my God! Sorry. I'm very happy. You don't feel it? No. You think so? Come on. Are you? We have all these plans. It's gonna go good. We're gonna travel. We're gonna do everything. College is gonna be good. I'm not gonna flunk my classes. Don't worry. I know you're a studious person. You know. See, people always go to clubs and whatnot. You never tell me to go either. We're none of those people, but you know. People can go to clubs, but you know, committed relationships are best, no? You all agree? No? Okay. No. But more of the story. What is it? See? No marriage, huh? No. You know, things can go bad, but in the end, maybe it'll all go good. You never know. You'll find someone, you'll be a good person, you'll find somewhere goals. It'll all go good. Thank you. I'm very honored. Give him some credit. One. In real life.
Thank you so much for contributing. Wait, now did that really happen? Did you just get?
Yeah, I was just engaged. It's real life.
Okay, impromptu time. So for the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna give you time to write about a particular topic, like we did last time. Get creative. Get as creative as possible as you can.
We doing it now?
Yeah. And then make your speeches 2-3 minutes max. Nothing extremely long. But get creative. You could go any way you want to with this. Right?
I'm
gonna give you.
Oh. So,
I'm gonna give you, yeah, individual.
Oh, bet. That's got 5 minutes to come up with a topic.
But I just lost my.
I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to write something up. Or come up with an idea or concept.
Well, please don't give me anything crazy, bro.
I think I gave you something good.
Just like very, you're staring at each other.
Bro, on some point, every time I go big bro, I think next shit was outrageous.
Okay. Starting here in the first row. The impact of social media.
Oh, that's free.
That's hard.
That's free. No play.
Stop.
The importance of mental health.
That's also free.
Also free.
Oh, it's not really a free one. It's not really a free one, bro. There's no way to give like the best topic you could get.
The significance of embracing diversity and inclusivity.
That was too long.
Huh? That's like too much words.
Oh, here we go.
You're good.
The significance of embracing diversity and inclusivity.
Yeah, bro's good.
Diversity and inclusion. Hey, I'm not telling you how to go with it. Right? Go about it however way you want to go about
I
it.
say like, what do you mean?
The significance. Why is it significant to embrace diversity and inclusivity? Why not? I mean, how do you feel? Okay? Come up with a speech. Okay, here. The
No.
power of perseverance.
No, wait.
Embracing diversity, like,
The significance of embracing diversity and inclusion.
okay, thank you.
Hmm? The importance of time management.
Oh, that's
Charles Acker.
You don't like your topic?
No, look at it.
I don't even know, like,
don't sell me.
what to say
Don't
about
sell me.
it. I don't know what it is.
I mean, this room is diverse. Is it significant? Is it
Hey, this is
what's creative from it?
That's not a bad topic.
Right?
You're right, bro.
Okay, the role of education.
My life.
Okay. I can work with that.
Okay.
The role of education.
The benefits of volunteering.
Positive, I love those.
Hey, the benefits of volunteering.
No, I love it.
You get good.
Yes.
The role of education. That you guys tell me.
Hang on. Got some more.
The role of education.
My biggest concern for the future is.
I should have been, my biggest concern for the future is.
Connor. If I were an animal, I would be a.
Oh!
Are you talking to me?
No, sorry.
No, come on,
No,
give me
you
that.
want- you-
Me and Connor trade.
Right?
Hey, can we do some trades?
Yeah.
Can we do some trades?
A shuffle.
Okay. You can trade, yeah. You can trade.
What do you? What do you got next? I know, I like the role of education.
Uniforms smother individuality.
What about me?
Advice for Little Red Riding Hood.
Wait, what?
Make sure the cookies are on time. Don't trust in everybody you see. That's the advice I can give you, gang.
Don't go to your granny house.
Huh? Give you a slip over here with that nigga on my belly.
Stay out of granny house. More importantly, stay out of granny bed.
Hey,
Real learning happens outside the classroom. All right, and over here, wisdom versus intelligence.
What was his?
Over here.
How long does it have to be?
Pets are people without children.
Oh, yeah.
How long does it have to be?
Sure, 2 to 3 minutes. We don't have no press for time, so we'll give you, I'll give you to like 8:15 to, wrap it up.
Oh, right, you got to,
That's fine.
No, we won't have time, but we need to get all the speakers.
I gotta turn this to one. That's gonna give me.
All right, over here, Mike Jones. What human quality do we need more of? If I rule the world.
If I rule the world. Imagine that. I'm free to love myself.
I like this one. That's my love.
Okay, everybody, pass it. So we'll go to about 8:15, it's 8:07 already. And I say be creative. However you want to go about it, right? Doesn't have to be what everybody expects you to say or something about it. Be creative. Hey, make it theatrical if you want to. Do what you want to do with it. Here's your chance. Maybe I'll leave the stool out in case anyone wants to use this. Man, I had some other good ones on. Okay.
What's the other good one? See, like,
Why Ronnie James is trash.
You said
why Ronnie James is trash?
And
Oh,
I
did I get why Ronnie James is trash? He went 0 for 15 from the 3-point line.
Looks like he might look good.
Cannon bounded too, though.
I don't care. It's also LeBron's
Oh,
son.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Double twist on it. Double twist.
He came out of college early. He should have developed more college.
But what you mean you once died on the court?
I had another why
Bears
Bears
was
fans
on the court. He put it
have a high degree of depression.
Bro, let me check.
Oh, that's free. I can run about that too.
Talk about nobody kids, because LeBron is my good. Hey,
What's this? Okay, here. Why Jay-Z will be next after Diddy.
hey, that's spicy. That's spicy when you said what?
That's
What?
spicy.
You said what?
Then why Jay-Z will be next after Diddy.
Jay-Z was the co-founder of Diddy Party. Before Beyonce, it was Diddy and Jay-Z.
Beyonce in there on it too.
Yes, he is. It was just used Beyonce as a cover. But they want to talk about Hillary Clinton.
Jennifer Lopez can get locked up too.
Nah, she was 50 Cent.
50 Cent, you know.
Justin Bieber get Usher and Justin Bieber.
This people ain't get locked up, people not getting.
Have you been enjoying the class so far?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Everybody like the class? Yeah?
This class is dope.
What would you change?
Nothing at all.
The reflection.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hate
I think
And I think reflection papers are good.
but it helps.
It gives you a chance to analyze yourself, to really think about what do you think you did.
That's not short.
You know, page up.
No, but like, and it's not really format. It's not even a page.
I mean, you're not gonna get penalized if you get less, yeah, I mean, but
I hope I don't. I just
if you're able to be authentic and honest, you should have something to say about your own critique, yes. I'm gonna do grades, this week, so your grades will be, caught up by the time you show up next Wednesday.
Is there gonna be a reflection, one on the impromptu and theatrical?
No, I don't have one.
Okay, I was just making sure, because I can see them on there.
Yeah, their impromptus are not really like standard speeches, so you don't have to. We may do another theatrical towards the end of this. What would you prefer, theatrical or stand-up?
Yeah,
No, theatrical.
You should let us like do something that's already been done, like recreate a scene.
Oh, that would be fun.
Okay.
Like, give us a scene that's already been done, like, give us.
Or didn't even like give it to us, just let us like, what's your favorite movie? And then you get your favorite.
I wanna do that.
It's like,
Oh,
So we'll do that towards the end of the semester. You get to pick some of whatever your favorite scenes are in movies.
That's it.
Whatever.
I'm gonna pick a scene from Transformers where we fight it with the front.
Hey, that'd be clever. You could actually like do some of the noises of Optimus Prime, right? That would be up to you.
Roll out. Brother. Oh, God. I can't do that no more. What?
what?
Wait, no more.
He said I can't do it no more.
I think you're trying to get to your message. You're talking about like,
That's what I.
No.
my mom passed. Yeah, but that's what I was saying. I was
Why
trying to
are you
get you.
lying? Why are you lying?
I got a tattoo of me. Yeah, I'm turning on my music now. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn my music. I ain't gonna say that.
Wait, bro, let me know. That's fake, bro.
I'm not.
What's the sense of 18?
Sorry, moving to my earlier. I feel like we come down to my
You know, it'd be a good idea if we picked the intros to some of your favorite TV shows.
Oh, wait, that would be tough.
If someone did the Fresh Prince,
Can we sing the intro?
I'll think about it.
I'm just a girl in a shirt that you do it all right.
Okay, a couple more minutes.
I just go first.
Go.
I already asked.
Go.
I'm gonna set the standard really, really low.
So, no, let me go first. Hell nah. I'm gonna set the standard so she can at least get like.
They weren't trying.
Don't forget to tell us the title,
Yeah. She said that from the room.
and always introduce yourself and tell us the title.
She said, you know,
Okay.
5 or 6 hours.
All right, everyone, here goes our first impromptu. Everyone, here goes our first impromptu speech.
Hey.
Here goes our first impromptu.
Alright, hi everybody, my name is Dakota Dynick, and today I was. Quick one, we use Dynick. And today I'm going to be talking about the significance of diversity and inclusion. And to be honest, I think it's very important to have a diverse setting in anybody's life, because it teaches you about other people's cultures or other people's ethnicities, and just maybe where they came from and grew up, or where you came from and grew up, maybe they don't know about it. So it really just helps you learn overall. And also, without diversity, everybody would be the same. And who likes just a carbon copy of everybody else? Like, that wouldn't be cool. If everybody looked the same, acted the same, just wasn't the same person. So, I don't like being the same as anybody else. I'm sure everybody else likes to be their own singular person rather than be another person. Also, me personally, I love to learn about new things, new cultures, new things people are maybe, what they're cooking, what their lifestyle is like, just anything new going on with really anything in the world. I find it pretty interesting. I like to explore those things. And in America, they always call it a melting pot of multiple cultures, races, ethnicities, everything under the sun. And every day in America, there's new people to meet, and everything's constantly changing, so let's just hope we can keep up with it.
Thank you.
You want to go next? You want to go
No,
next?
I'm not playing that. Whoever is saying I'm ready. Oh,
We got sausage. No, wait.
we'll let you go first.
Hi, my name's Adam Lambes.
All right, here goes our speech.
My speech today is about the impact of social media. So my first question is, how many people today have a smartphone with them? Everyone. How many people have another device that they can use social media with? Everyone. I have no technology at all. I also have a question. How many times a day do you think you pick up your phone, go to a social media app, and look at a person you haven't talked to maybe months, maybe years, maybe ever, and you don't really have a real connection with them? You just follow them. And what's a follower? You've never had a conversation with that person, right? So I would say, my speech about today is to address the problems and the overall impact of social media. Because just within this past decade, we've seen the rise of many social media apps. For example, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok especially, which I think is the most harmful. And everything that's come with it. So on one hand, I would say it does engage people in a much bigger and better way than ever before, because I can talk to someone on the other side of the world, which honestly is pretty dope. I talk to family members all the time that are in the Middle East that I just never seen. But then also, it kind of breaks down any type of communication, because I care if she's Snapchatting me, or she's viewing my story, or she's leaving me undelivered, or he's not just responding. You know what I mean? It kind of ruins a relationship in a way that's kind of fake. Because you're not having a great conversation with the person. Who cares if you send pictures back and forth to each other? Does that matter really for anything? So, with social media as well, there's something like Twitter, X now, that kind of breeds echo chambers, because if you just talk to like-minded individuals, you're going to start thinking whatever you're thinking is true, and what everybody thinks. So social media kind of helps you see other people's perspective, but kind of also forces you into a little box that you can never really escape. So overall, the digital landscape is hard to go through and find through, but we do do it every day. Everybody's on their phone right now, to be honest. Everybody's looking at Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So, it's hard to navigate through, it's hard to get off of, but this is the world we live in. Thank you.
Who's next? All right, and then you kind of get going.
Keep going, that's your mic.
Hello?
No.
So, my speech was, advice, what advice would I give to a literary writer? So, if I remember the story correctly, Little Red Riding Hood went to the forest, trusted a wolf that she didn't know, and the wolf eventually ate her and her grandmother. So, Chicago knowledge, some advice I would give Little Red Riding Hood. Don't go nowhere and trust somebody you don't know. Keep your head up, keep your eyes open, keep your head on that swivel. Hey, and if you got to, only gotta say no more.
What?
That's good advice.
Stay on the phone, stay at home. Why you going to granny crib?
You should have been riding in the hood.
Look at Dr. Ross, very funny. So wait, Dakota.
All right, here's our next speech. Connor.
All right, so the question I'm answering is if I could be any animal, just out of choice, which animal would I be? And I'm gonna go at it from the point of view that I still have a consciousness like me. Because, we don't know that animals have the same kind of line of thinking. You've seen a dog just kind of go insane jumping on a trampoline or ram their head into a door. I'm gonna assume I'm not like that. I'm gonna assume I keep human thinking, however this works, it's a hypothetical question already. But I think the answer, from me myself, is really easy, and it's because it's a tortoise. Alright? For one, think of how long a tortoise lives. Some of you guys know Galapagos tortoises? The insane amounts. It's like 400 and up. I'm saying some insane ages and stuff. I'm pretty sure the oldest one's a lot older than that. That's a good average. Yeah, and they're massive. They take up, legs that much. You could ride on a tortoise. It's not going to be fast if you ride on a tortoise, but you could ride on some of these tortoises. And you know what they do all day? They sit there. They bask in the sun. They eat food. That's what I want to do. I want to go outside, sit on a rock, eat some lettuce that some guy walks up to me and gives me, and live. I can kind of, swim underwater a bit if I need to, but I'm so big, what's going to mess with me? It means a lion going to come along and he can smack at my shell, but I'm huge. I'm huge, but I'm huge now. I'm a big old guy. I can walk around a little bit. I don't need to be fast. I just get to sit there and enjoy life. As long as I'm keeping my human mind, like I said I was, maybe taking some of the animal's instincts, because I'm not going to know instinctually as a human how to withdraw my body parts into a bigger shell. And it'll probably be a bit disorienting at first, having a little bit extra weight. But I think in the end, it's just such an easy answer. I get to sit there and eat food and relax. It sounds like being retired, if being retired worked how it was supposed to. And that's all I got to say.
Would you teach three of your friends to fight and then make them to
I would definitely think about it. We would be at loss.
How old would you be? Teenage?
If I had to
Teenage,
I wouldn't want to be real, because that just doesn't sound.
Bro, he's
I'd
rough,
probably
yeah,
end up in
he's
rough
rough,
right now.
yeah.
But like, I'd want to be like, Donatello, like, that sounds.
The oldest living tortoise right now hatched in 1832.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
estimated to be 191.
Would they be feeding these horses?
Bro,
What is it? They just gotta sit around all that time.
when the last
Sounds like
time you
they
been to
work
the war?
I mean, if I'm a human, I can work for all that time.
When the last time you been to the war? Right, stripped up.
You don't got time.
Greenland sharks live up to 400 years. Greenland sharks.
You probably failed with them too.
All right, who's going next?
I think John was
All right, here goes our next speaker.
So my topic, my topic was the importance of mental health. I believe that especially now in our day and age, mental health is a very important topic that we should not only bring awareness to, but like make sure that all of ours is good. So one big thing that I've noticed, like especially with my mental health is bad, is like I'm very unproductive and I'm just very lethargic. I don't really want to do anything, and especially while we're in college, it's like very hard. You have to do work every day. You have to write essays, study for tests, do stuff like that. So if you're not keeping your mental health in check, you might like screw up and like leave an essay until last minute, and then you're going to be spending all night writing an essay, which is just going to make your mental health worse. Not speaking from experience at all, but so it's like it's good for your productivity, like making sure you can still do stuff, and then it also like if you don't take care of your mental health, it'll like make your relationships a lot harder. If you're not always in your best mindset or like just not really feeling good around people, then they're not going to want to be around you. And so you got to make sure that you keep your mental health right so that you can keep those relationships. And then really overall, it's like people that have strong mental health are really resilient. Like no matter what life throws at them, they're still going to be able to like stand back up. Like something really bad happens, like maybe like you get in a car accident or something. Like some people that have bad mental health, they might get down and like say, "This is it. This is the reason that I quit." But someone with good mental health, they'll just like stand back up and be like, "I can fight through this. I can take on anything." That's why mental health is very important.
Who's going next? Brent. All right,
Reputation.
All right, half an hour.
Oh, what's your name, sir? Brent Javarius.
Oh, no.
The third.
No, that's crazy. What thing you hear? Dr. Ross.
Brent Javarius.
Yeah, no more than hopefully like 3 minutes long. We're in church.
Bro, got a whole essay. He didn't read the type of essay.
No. All right, my okay.
Lie down, kids.
All right, my name is Brent. My topic for tonight was the importance of time management. Anybody in here ever forget something they had to do? Yeah. Time management is one of those things when we are a kid we don't really understand. As kids, we have people that wake us up for school, tell us when to eat, what to eat, and pick out our clothes. People have to tell us to go to school, but as we get older, we don't need to depend on others. Everyone should have a planner. The importance of having one tells you what to do and the time frames you put it in. With this, we are less likely to get overwhelmed with deadlines and stuff we need to do around the house. As people get older, we tend to forget things. The Alzheimer's Association stated
million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's in 2024. 73% are 75 or older. Having a planner can help with time management and help you remember things that you forgot. Even when you leave for home to go to work, you want to give yourself time to get there on time. You never know what will happen when you leave home. Time management is one of the most important life skills everyone should have.
Did you see that one? You saw that one? The way he was walking.
All right, here's our next speech.
If I rule the world, I would make everything cheaper, like cars, gas, houses, food, clothes. If I rule the world, I would make it to where you can build your own apartment so that you know that it's for you. I would make plane rides free because flights nowadays aren't cheap. And why not travel the world for free? That's all I got.
Okay, who's ready? Who's next? All right, what's that? You're right. All right, your next speech.
So my topic was wisdom versus intelligence. It's good to be intelligent, but wisdom comes naturally. You could be the smartest person in the world, but real knowledge comes from experience. The more experience you have, the more wisdom you gain. Wisdom is grown from mistakes. Intelligence is when you use what you learn to fix a problem. But wisdom is when you use what you actually experience. Sometimes what you learn from a book that makes you intelligent comes from a different perspective. The knowledge is just being passed down like a movie. Sometimes there's different versions you might learn about certain history that can make you intelligent, but everyone has a different story about, let's say, the Great Depression. So how do you know if what you read is actually true? But with experience, you'll have the wisdom, you'll learn from the history you personally experienced to help make wise decisions in the future. Intelligence could be a lie, but wisdom could be the truth.
So my topic was pets are for people without children. Besides the unfortunate issue of people being infertile, I would ask the question, why do people choose to have pets over actually having children? Besides pets for fun, I'm going to take the extreme perspective of this problem. My first point to bring up is, you know how people have those carriages for pets, for dogs and cats? I think that's atrocious, ridiculous. I think it's very absurd. Are they trying to mimic children? I don't understand. First of all, dogs and cats, they have a natural instinct to run wild in nature, chase something, smell grass, not to be stuffed in a carriage and smell satin sheets and pretend like they're royalty, because they're not supposed to be called like that. In Slavic countries, for instance, dogs slept outside and their happiness was a big fat rib dinner, anything meat. I'm not saying that's how dogs should be treated, but the reality is, because we should all live in reality, dogs survive in the outdoors, they can, that's natural, and they thrive in nature and freedom. And besides, in the end, people are going against their biological
gonna volunteer to go next?
I get that, they wasn't always from the same area, like they wasn't even our system.
All right, here's your next speech.
The role of education is very important. There's 6 different. Number 1, personal development. Education fosters critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. It helps individuals discover their interests, talents, and leading to personal fulfillment and growth. Number 2 is economic empowerment. A well-educated workforce is essential for economic development. Education increases employability and earning potential, contributing to a more productive economy. Number 3 is social equity. Education can bridge gaps in socio-economic status, providing opportunities for disadvantaged groups to promote social mobility and healthy inequality. Number 4 is personal awareness. Education exposes individuals to diverse and perspectives and cultures, fostering tolerance and understanding. This is vital in our increasingly interconnected world. Number 5 is innovation and progress. Education drives research and innovation, leading to advancements in technology, science, and the arts. A knowledgeable society is better equipped to tackle global challenges. Number 6 is lifelong learning. Education encourages a mindset of continuous learning, which is essential in a rapidly changing world. This adaptability is key to personal and professional success.
Education's important. Associate degree holders on average, talking here about median income, $78,000 a year. Bachelor's degree, right? $117,000. Master's degree. Remember, this is the median, not the mean, so it's not really that. Master's degree, $137,000, and a professional degree, $172,000. Professional being like lawyer, doctor, psychologist, yada, yada. Okay, next week.
Alright, so, my speech is the benefits of volunteering. So, about volunteering, so I learned early on that volunteering is actually really a great benefit. I learned this in high school with my football coach. He would have us have at least 10 hours of volunteering hours in our community
there for the perception of support, that you can identify people who are there who are like-minded. Think like you. Okay. Who's next? Who wants to go next? Hey, get it up, boy. Come on. All right, here's our next speech.
Joshua Smith, family, friend, my biggest concern for the future. One of my biggest concerns for the future is my dreams. I'm trying to dream do I have what it takes? Am I good enough? Maybe I'm just not as gifted as everybody else. Some say that you should let hate motivate you. It's easier said than done. And sometimes when you're really creative, you're not satisfied with what you produce. I'm not one to think so hard about the large political problem and what party you're going to help solve, what party you're going to help solve, and help do. I worry about the little things that really are problems until I make them. But what I think is you should leave your words for the mind. Public speaker Cruz Bomb said, worrying is carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength, carrying a 2 days work. It is moving into tomorrow ahead of time. Worrying doesn't empty tomorrow with its sorrow, it empties the day of strength. So I decided to think, why not decide to be happy today? Forget about tomorrow. Take life one step at a time, enjoy the smaller things, and forget about your concerns.
All right, worrying about the future. The future doesn't exist. Eastern philosophy say we have the eternal now. Time is just an impression of the mind, but now it's the only thing we have. The future. All right.
I need to go get my phone.
Okay, so Mike Jones, and my question was, what human qualities do we need more of? Or what human quality do we need more of? Hard questions for that. I'm gonna kind of combine it, like combine two of them. I feel like they kind of go hand in hand for what I feel needs to happen. I'm gonna go with communication and understanding. Because with everything going on today, with how many different things are coming out, many different ways people think and people feel about certain things, I feel like being able to at least talk about those things and just communicate how this person feels, how that person feels, how that person feels. Just being able to just understand that and not being able, not have to attack or judge, and being able to just talk about it and be able to see like, oh, I sit here, but she sits here, and this is why. And like, that's it. Just be able to let her live with that and let him live with that is important. It's a real lot of problems at this point.
chatting about the power of perseverance. So many people in the world sit around and complain like, why me, boo boo, etc., saying like, God doesn't love me, why would this happen to me, this and that, and dwell on the past instead of working through the problems and becoming a better them. And I believe if you just look at a positive standpoint and try to think of the positives of what happened, you can grow and become a better human being and change what happened in your life. For example, Ryan Shazier got paralyzed playing football, and many people believe he would never be able to walk again. And then 3 years later, he walks up on draft night and he's walking. It's not like super functional, but let's say if you just complain and cry, oh, I'm never gonna walk again, like why me, like why not somebody else, and just complain and dwell, you wouldn't have been able to walk again. Another example, Robert Downey Jr., he got down on drugs, and he really ruined his career for a while, and if he would have dwelled on the past and just been like, man, I'm never gonna be able to act again, I'm gonna end up working at McDonald's or Walmart or something, and people be like, oh, it's Robert Downey, make fun of him because I ain't gonna ruin that. But instead, he kept working, talking to people, and look, he ended up being Iron Man and working on 20 games from that. Another example, Alex Smith. He messed up his knee very, very bad. And then years later, he ends up getting a surgery. He'll never walk again. Now his leg doesn't look good, but he's functional walking. He would have gone in the past and not looked to God or many other things, and then able to walk. Another one, LeBron James, he came from a not very wealthy family. So if he would have just took that and went to the streets or done stuff that other people do that don't come from very wealthy families, instead of going and exploring basketball and making that to who he is today, he would never made it out. And lastly, Michael Jackson, when his hair caught on fire, a day later, he literally was back dancing, singing, and getting ready to perform again. So if he would have dwelled on that, thinking like, oh, I have a bald spot, oh, I got second degree and third degree burns, I'll never be the same, and wouldn't have got all of those amazing hits. Thank you very much.
Who next?
My name is Michael. Today I'll be talking to you guys about real learning that happens outside the classroom. Personally, I believe it is a very important part of our childhood. Being able to experience new things and going places really lets you learn more about where you're from and like getting the opportunity to meet new people. Inside a classroom, you can only read what's in the textbook. You can only look at what's in the textbook. That's not really the best case scenario, if you ask me. But I was lucky when I was younger, I got to travel overseas to Europe. And when I went over there and learned everything I learned there and came back to school, I was able to teach my classmates more than just what was in the textbook. It's not just like it's the word I'm looking for. In a classroom, it can get boring as well. Like you don't really get to meet people from other cultures. It's kind of just people from your area. When you go overseas too, you can meet people who aren't part of that country that you're learning about in class. So I guess the biggest thing for me is you should be able to learn outside the classroom more than what you're learning inside the classroom.
All right, I think that's everyone.
That's
changes.
tough.
People being a little bit more exploratory than they have before. See some people being a little more comfortable. Next week, have your visual, your sensory aids, right? So I'm gonna upload this right now as soon as we're about to get out. So we have our sensory aid speech next week, right? So find something, get creative. We say, hey, bring some props if you want to. Anything that's a model of something that represents something, pictures, graphs, charts, posters, anything that you think will help and assist. Yeah, so try to be as creative as possible to keep it in. That is it for today. Any questions before we get out of here?
No, sir.
Alright, everyone. See you next Wednesday. Email me.
Adam, get a break. I'll raise my hand though. Adam, get a break.